Hello, welcome back to my channel. For today's video, I am taking a CorePower Yoga class, and I got a free week, so this is gonna be like my week-long review of CorePower, and I'm pretty excited for it. For a bit of context, I am not into yoga really at all. My old apartment complex offered free yoga classes, so I did that for a little bit, but I never really stuck to it. And there was a period of time where I was exclusively doing group fitness workouts, so Orange Theory was the first one I started with, and then I got into Rumble boxing and Rumble training, and then I did berries for a little bit too, and then after that I got big into boxing, and then I moved, and now I'm big into just like the gym phase and like lifting and all that stuff, so I haven't been doing any group fitness classes. And I came across CorePower. I know a couple of people who love CorePower, and I saw that they had a free week, and I was like, why not try it? So here I am, and I'm gonna try to go as often as I can during my free week. The studio near me has pretty limited availability for some reason. There's some days where they like just canceled classes for half the day, so might not make it to those. But yeah, I've been more into lifting recently, so it's gonna be interesting to see how group fitness and like just like a class setting works out for me nowadays. So for today's class, I am taking the Strength X, and I looked this up last night, and apparently it's a newer class, so it's more like strength and like HIIT focus versus like slower yoga movements. So I'm just excited to see how that goes, and I'm kind of scared, but it happens every time you take your first group fitness class at a new place. So here we go. Just got out of that workout and it was really hard. So like the Strength X class is usually not heated. The studio that I went to like has problems with their humidifier or whatever, and that's why they're closed for half the day on Monday. They're getting it fixed, but that room was so humid, and I just like don't do well with working out in humidity, so like I get tired 1,000 times faster. So yeah, that was just a struggle. It was very much a HIIT workout, which I used to love doing, but now that I'm like into lifting more, I just like don't have the endurance for it anymore. So I was just like dripping sweat, and I haven't done that in a while. It was a really, really good workout, honestly, but it was just rough. But I did like it. And I also really like that at the end of the workout, they take time to stretch and to do like a little bit of yoga as like a cool down. And I feel like that's important for all HIIT workouts, and like a lot of places don't do that enough. I know that Orange Theory started doing it more recently with like cool down blocks, but I think CorePower does a really good job of that. I was a fan of it. I don't know if I would do it regularly just because I prefer lifting heavier, and I'm not too big into HIIT anymore, but I'm really excited to see the other classes and how those formats work. And yeah, I'm just excited for the rest of the week of CorePower. Back with another day of CorePower. The studio doesn't have the best class options for my schedule, so this morning I still went to the gym. I am taking this class after work. I'm taking a CorePower 2 class. I've never taken a CorePower 1, so we're gonna see how this one goes. I saw online that this one is heated, so I'm kind of scared. Those workouts are always tougher for me. So I'm gonna go in, and then we're gonna see how this goes. So stay tuned for the review afterwards. So I'm out of class now, and honestly, it wasn't what I expected it to be. It was pretty much like a typical yoga class. I think that the CorePower 2 is more advanced than 1, or that's what I would assume, because the instructor wasn't really explaining all of the poses. She was just like naming them and going through it, which worked out fine for me because I've done a handful of yoga classes before, and I also took yoga in high school. So learned a lot of stuff from there. Overall, it was a pretty good class. It was pretty hot in the room also, so I was literally dripping sweat and I could see everybody else dripping sweat. It actually was what I needed because I needed like a reset and refresh after work. It was good. I would recommend going to that class as one of your first ones. I feel like it wasn't too intense and it was a good yoga session and it wasn't anything too crazy. I was a fan of that one, and I'm taking Sculpt in the morning, which I'm so excited for because it is day 3 of CorePower, and today I'm taking the yoga Sculpt class, and it is 8 a.m. right now, so getting my morning workout in as usual. I have heard a lot of good things about the yoga Sculpt class, and I talked to the instructor yesterday, and she kind of described it as like yoga and HIIT combined, but I think it differs from the Strength X class because the Strength X class has heavier weights, but that's my suspicion. We'll see what actually happens in class today. I'm excited for it. I'll catch you on the flip side.
7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. We go fire hydrants last week where you feed yourself. Stay focused, stay to your safety present, focus on your fire hydrant, focus on squeezing your outer glute and not dumping into your lower back. Your jump. Now great form. 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, fire hydrants and 2. 1. Your belly button to your spine. Bring it back. Keep going. Watch this Wednesday. Working so hard this morning for 8.
The lighting right now in my car is not great, so this is the angle we're gonna do it at. The Sculpt class was so good. It was really tough. The room was heated. It was an hour long, and it's a mixture of like cardio, HIIT, and yoga. So we started the class doing more like yoga, stretchy type of stuff, and then we went into like a block of cardio, and then a block of like HIIT. And I am not used to lifting weights with lower weight and higher reps, and there was a lot of that along with like pulses and holds, so that was tough. And the room was heated, so it was very hot in there and I was sweating so much. I felt like I was in a sauna, which was kind of nice. Overall, I really like the yoga Sculpt class. I think it's my favorite so far. So over the next couple days I have a couple more classes that I'm going to try out, so I'll let you know how it goes from there. I'm back with another yoga class today. So today I'm going in after work. So again, I went to the gym this morning. We're gonna try to get through this. Today I'm taking the hot power fusion class, which is labeled as a level 3 sweat. Yoga Sculpt is labeled as a level 2 sweat, and it was already so hot and I was soaking wet from sweat in that class. So this one's gonna be interesting, but I'll come back to you afterwards and let you know how that went. So I just got out of class and I forgot how early it gets dark nowadays, so it's dark outside. Honestly, that class was torture. It was so hot. It was literally like working out in a sauna, and I like sitting in saunas for like 5 to 10 minutes, but an hour in that plus moving, it was so rough. To be 100% honest, would not do that one again because I was suffering the whole time. My whole body was just soaked. It was worse than any of the other classes I've taken. There was one point where I was sweating so much and she told us to get into crow, and I literally could not because I'm wearing shorts, so like my legs are all sweaty, my arms are sweaty, and there was no way my skin would like grip each other. So that was just a flat out like fail. I tried and I just could not. Also, anytime we were doing downward dog, sweat from like my neck was literally getting into my mouth. It was so gross. And sweat was going into my eyes, and I was like, I can't see because I wear contacts, so struggled a little bit. It was a good workout, and a lot of people came out of it and they were like talking to their friends and they were like, it's so hard, but like it's so good at the end, and I do feel great afterwards. But like being in there 30 minutes in, I was like, I feel like I'm gonna pass out. But I hydrated. I also put a liquid IV in my water bottle because I knew that I would be super dehydrated in this one, so that helped a lot. Overall, I'm glad I did it. but I don't think I would do this one again. Maybe like once every couple of months, but this would not be a regular class for me. That's my rating for Hot Power Fusion. So it's my last day on my free trial. Today I have a Sculpt class. It is morning time, so this is perfect for me, but I also did the Hot Power Fusion last night, which means my body is dehydrated and out of sweat. I rehydrated last night, so I think I'm good to go for today. We're gonna get this workout done, and the Sculpt class is fun, so I'm excited to experience this new instructor and to see how this class goes overall. So I will be back afterwards and I'll let you know how my second yoga Sculpt class went. Just finished yoga Sculpt again, and it was a really good class. This instructor was higher energy than the first one that I had, so I think that made a big difference in the workout. This one also felt a little more bearable. There wasn't like a strict cardio block, so I wonder if the classes are set to be the same across all CorePower studios, or if each of the instructors is responsible for making each of the classes. Yeah, I'd be curious of that. And this instructor, while she was high energy, she was also low on breaks, so it was a tougher workout, I think. Overall, it wasn't too bad. The heat, I feel like after experiencing the Hot Power Fusion class where it was like insanely humid and hot in the room, this one was not bad at all. Really like the Sculpt classes. I'll make a conclusion segment in this video to just go over everything that I learned about CorePower, the types of classes, so talk about that in the next couple of seconds. I'm finally back to conclude my whole week experience with CorePower, and if I look a little bit tanner, it's because I came from a trip to Hawaii, so I'm a bit tanner than when I first took these classes, but I still wanted to do a wrap-up that was a little bit more cohesive than the rest of this video, so here I am. To start things out, I wanted to talk about the different classes that are offered at CorePower. So I'm going to talk about the studio that I go to specifically. And after doing some research online, I noticed that they don't offer every single class that other CorePowers do. So I'll just be going over the specific ones at my studio. So to start out, the CorePower website has a couple of descriptors for each of their classes, and the first descriptor is the intensity level, and then the second one is the sweat level. So I'll be going over each of those when I talk about these classes. So to start out, the first class that they offer is the CorePower 1 class. As you know in my video, I did not take a CorePower 1 class. Based on what I read online, it seemed like it's more for people who have never done yoga before and who are brand new to all the poses and whatnot. So the intensity level for this one is low, and the sweat level is a 1, so there's no added heat or humidity in the class. Fairly simple, straightforward, honestly probably one of the best beginner classes that you can take. And that leads me into the next class, which is the CorePower 2 class. This is the next level above a CorePower 1. So the intensity level is labeled as moderate, and the sweat level is considered a 2 to 3, which means there's added heat and humidity to class. If you remember, I said I was sweating in that class, and I saw sweat dripping off everybody else as well, so there's definitely added heat. I think that if you have experience in yoga previously, this is a good first class to start out in. It's not anything too crazy or intense. It's like a regular yoga class, but a little bit more advanced than the first one. The next one is the Yoga Sculpt class, and this is the one that I feel like so many people talk about and rave about. So this one is labeled as moderate with a sweat level of 2. It is heated, and sometimes they add humidity. So this class also, from what I remember, was pretty hot, and the movements were definitely more intense than the other regular CorePower classes. Probably be sweating from the consistent movements throughout class. That's a little bit about the Yoga Sculpt. The CorePower Strength X class, which was the very first class I took, is labeled as a high intensity and sweat level 2, but it says that there's no added heat or humidity. I think that sweat level just comes from the fact that it's more of like a HIIT-based class. Just you being there and doing the movements that are high intensity is just gonna make you sweat a lot, even if the room isn't heated. And then the last one that I have on this list is the Hot Power Fusion, which, if you remember, was a crazy insane class. It is leveled as a high intensity, sweat level 3, and this for sure includes added heat and humidity. As you know, that room was insanely hot. It was literally a sauna, and you're doing yoga in there, and it's crazy, and still a good time if you enjoy like sweating out everything, because that's what happened when I took that class. But you have to rehydrate a lot afterwards, so it is one of the more intense classes that I think you should be careful if you're going to. So overall, my favorite class was the Sculpt class and the CorePower 2 class. If I want to go for something more yoga based and not too crazy, I would go with the CorePower 2. I also think that that one's good for like more of a meditation kind of workout versus something that's like high intensity. And for the Sculpt class, I would go with that if I want something a little more intense and if I was hoping to burn more calories in my workout or to build a little bit more muscle than just doing a regular yoga class. But all in all, I would recommend this free week to anybody who is debating trying out CorePower Yoga. And if you're watching this video, you're probably debating whether or not you should try it. So I think you should do it. It's a free week. There's so many classes that you can take. And I think with the way that they have everything set up, you're bound to find something that you like and something that you can add to your routine, or CorePower can be your entire routine, honestly. That is all for this video on CorePower's free week. If you have any more questions about the different classes or my experience, feel free to leave that in the comments below. I am happy to chat with you about that there. But for now, that is all for this video, and I hope to see you in the next one.